It's Texas Backyard Barbecue with PitMaster T, live from Dallas, Texas. Today, PitMaster smoking up some of his famous pulled pork.
Well, hey everybody, and welcome to Texas Backyard Barbecue. At least that's what it's called for now. We're thinking of changing the name. As you can see, we changed up the set a little bit. We actually took it outside. Now we will be smoking meats, barbecuing meats, grilling meats, and other foods that go along with it. So, in the comments down below, just, give us a name suggestion if you think you have a better name. And remember, we live off subscribe and likes. So if you like any of these recipes, please subscribe. We don't track anybody with it, and it's just a service for YouTube. We're getting plenty of views, but we need more subscribers to keep the channel going. So please subscribe. So, as I said, today we've got pork butt. And this is a beautiful one too, nice and lean, got a lot of marbling to it. Now what we're gonna do first is we're gonna season it with, you know what we're gonna use? Tom's Dry Rub number 1, Tom's Dry Rub number 2. So let's start with 1, but before we do, we're gonna take some grape oil just to loosen up the surface a little bit. Sloth a little on there, just kinda get it all over. Both sides, and now even though this is the fat, you want it to stick on there. We're going to put it fat side down in the smoker, and then we're going to smoke it at about, I'm going to say right around 190 degrees, maybe 185 degrees. And we're going to do that for a long, long time. So let me grab a towel here real quick, get some of that oil off my hand. So when I say a long time, it's going to go in, it's about noon here in Texas, so I'm guessing it's going to be in at that temperature till about 2 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, probably 14 hours. Now halfway in the middle there, we're going to pull it out and we're going to wrap it. And we're going to wrap it in aluminum foil, and then we're going to put it back in. At 2 a.m., we'll set an alarm. We'll turn the smoker off and we'll just let it set. We're going to let it set all night long. Then the next morning, get up, pull it in. It'll be just a dream to pull. It'll just fall apart, bones will fall off, it'll be excellent. So, first thing we want to do is we want to coat with number 2, the garlic, and then number 1, the secret sauce, and if you watch the other videos, you'll know what's in it. And that's kind of good. Then just kind of give it a little bit of a pat, and now we're going to flip it. We're going to do the other side, same way. And you want to do this with a pretty good size heavy coat, because it's going to be in the smoker for a while. And we're smoking it with cherry, I believe, applewood. We'll be finishing it with cherry. So we're going to use apple. We're just going to put a couple of coats of it on here. Get that nice and patted in. Now, after we get it all seasoned up, then we're going to wrap it and put it in the refrigerator for a few hours. And then it will go in very low and slow. Now we do it so low and slow because we want it to really, really turn out tender. But the big key to that is moisture, because the longer it's under the heat, the more moisture is going to leach out of it. So that's why we do it at 180, 185 degrees, because that's a plenty good temperature to cook the meat. 165 is done. So that does still cook real well at that temperature. But the nice part of it is it doesn't boil the water out. It doesn't steam any of the moisture out of the pork butt. And it's actually a shoulder, although I think could be a rear shoulder. I don't know. I'm not really a butcher, so I don't know where it comes from. You counted, that's the last side right here, and as you can see, we've got this baby coated really, really well. Really, really well. So it'll be nice. Now remember, in your comments there, give us an idea what you think we ought to call the name. We did do a Google search, or a Facebook search actually, and also a YouTube search under Texas Backyard Barbecue, which is what we've been calling it, and apparently that's a really, really, really popular name. So we want to go to something that's a little more unique, so that when you call it up, you don't find 50 different ones. So you can see I'm putting a little bit extra here on the top, and we're just going to pat that in. Okay, done there. It's going to go in the fridge now. As you can see, the pulled pork is marinated really good. So now let's get it into the smoker and get this process started. So first thing, I've loaded the smoker with apple wood, enough to do the entire smoke. So then we're gonna place the butt, trying not to get any of the seasoning off, center of the rack, close it up. We're gonna set it for 195 degrees. Okay, the pork has been in the smoker for 8 hours. It's reached an internal temperature of 145 degrees, which is absolutely perfect. So I pulled it out, and now I'm gonna wrap it in a couple layers of aluminum foil, back in the smoker at 190. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit, and then we're gonna let it go about another 6 or 7 hours, basically all night. So let's start off by wrapping her up in a couple coats of heavy aluminum foil. Now sometimes you can use some parchment on this as well, but or butcher paper, either way. I'm out of both. So I'm gonna fold her up and just get a nice seal with the aluminum foil. Do a couple layers of it so that it seals it in pretty well. Gonna need a bigger table. So do a wrap, bring it over, wrap it. So, 2 good layers, back in the smoker. We'll see what it's like in about another 6.5, 7 hours. Hey y'all, we're back. It's the next morning. I didn't shoot the time when I got up at 5 a.m. to shut it off, but I shut off the smoker at 5, left the pulled pork in the smoker, got up now at 8, and so it's had like 3 hours to kind of rest. So let's pull it out of there and see what we have. Ooh, still kind of warm, not hot, just warm. And we've got one nice pulled pork here. Let's pull it apart and see where we're at. Just cut it up a little bit. Oh, it is absolutely full of juice, and it pulls off like a shred. Oh my goodness gracious. This is good pulled pork. This is good pulled pork. I'd open it up some more, but it's so full of juice, it would run all over the place. So, there you go. Pulled pork. The absolute most tender, tasty, easy to make product. Just throw it in, season it, low and slow. Remember, I did it at 195 degrees for about 7 or 8 hours. Then I wrapped it, turned it down to 190, let it set until 5 a.m., which would have been, what, another 7.5 hours, turned it off and let it rest. And then all you got to do is enjoy. So thanks for watching Texas Backyard Barbecue with PitMaster T. That's me. And see you next time. Also, remember, in the comments down below, we're looking for a new name. So, you know, if you have a suggestion, please give it to us. We're looking at all of them. And if you like this video, please subscribe and hit like. It doesn't mean much to y'all, but it means a lot to us. YouTube doesn't really help us keep these things going until we get a certain amount of subscribers. So we have the views, we just need the subscribers. So please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of whatever it may be called with PitMaster T.